This is a song by the world-famous Diamond Trio called An American Pie, which was originally written and sung by Don McLean. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile.
And I knew if I had my chance, I could make those people dance, and maybe they'd be happy for a while.
But February made me shiver with every paper I'd deliver.
Bad news on the doorstep, I couldn't take one more step.
I can't remember if I cried when I read about his widowed bride.
But something touched me deep inside the day the music died.
So bye, bye, Miss American Pie.
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye.
Singing this will be the day that I die.
This will be the day that I die.
Did you write that book of love? And do you have faith in God above? If the Bible tells you so, now do you believe in rock and roll? Can music save your mortal soul? And can you teach me how to dance real slow?
Well, I know that you're in love with him, 'cause I saw you dancing in the gym. You both kicked off your shoes. Well, I dig those rhythm and blues.
I was a lonely teenage bouncing buck with a pink carnation and a pickup truck. But I knew I was out of luck the day the music died.
I started singing bye bye Miss American Pie.
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye.
And singing this will be the day that I die.
This will be the day that I die.
Now for 10 years we've been on our own, and the moss grows fast on a rolling stone. But that is not how it used to be, when the jester sang for the king and queen, in a coat he borrowed from James Dean, and a voice that came from you and me.
Oh, while the king was looking down, the jester stole his tardy crown. The courtroom was adjourned, the verdict was returned.
And while Lenin read a book on Mars, the quartet practiced in the park, and we sang dirges in the dark the day the music died.
We were singing bye bye Miss American Pie.
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye.
And singing this will be the day that I die.
This will be the day that I die.
Helter shelter in a summer swelter, the birds flew off to the fallout shelter, 8 miles high and falling fast. It landed foul on the grass, the players tried for a forward pass, with the jester on the sideline in a cast.
Now half-time air was sweet perfume, while the sergeants played the marching tune. We all got up to dance, but we never got the chance.
'Cause the players tried to take the field, the marching band refused to yield. Do you recall what was revealed the day the music died?
We started singing bye bye Miss American Pie.
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye.
and singing, "This will be the day that I die."
This will be the day that I die.
Oh, and there we were, all in one place, a generation lost in space, with no time left to start again. So come on, Jack, be nimble, Jack, be quick. Jack Flash sat on a candlestick, 'cause fire's the devil's only friend, and...
Oh, and as I watched him on the stage, my hands were clenched in fists of rage. No angel born in hell could break that Satan's spell.
And as the flames climbed high into the night to light the sacrificial rite, I saw Satan laughing with delight the day the music died.
He was singing, "Bye, bye, Miss American Pie."
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye,
and singing, "This will be the day that I die."
This will be the day that I die.
I met a girl who sang the blues, and I asked her for some happy news, but she just smiled and turned away.
I went down to the sacred store where I heard the music years before, but the man there said the music wouldn't play.
And in the streets the children screamed, the lovers cried and the poets dreamed.
But not a word was spoken, the church bells all were broken.
And the three men I admired the most, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost,
they caught the last train for the coast the day the music died.
And they were singing, "Bye, bye, Miss American Pie."
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
And them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye,
singing, "This will be the day that I die."
This will be the day that I die.
They were singing, "Bye, bye, Miss American Pie."
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Them good old boys were drinking whiskey and rye,
Singing, this will be the day that I die.
Yes, this will be the day that I die.
American Pie.
Well, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah. It was still long, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that's meant to be long. That is a long format. I mean, you do hear shorter versions of that, but that is the full long version.
Yeah, I was saying that to Brian because apparently I was reading up on it. When they made that, they only had records. It had to go onto a record and it had to be 4 minutes after, otherwise it wouldn't fit on. So he'd written it and it was 7 minutes long. He had to cut out the 3 minutes of it to get it onto the record.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
but I always have like that, and when I have heard the longer version, before we came on, I put it on and with his words, but sang it to
yes.
do it along with it. That is one of my favourite songs, actually.
It's a nice song, isn't it? It tells a story, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, some long songs don't necessarily make sense, but it does make sense. Yeah.